read by their educational level, their job title, or their level of success they've achieved in their lifetime. So my topic was, are you selling or sorting? Become a professional apple picker. Okay, so we want to sort people or let them sort themselves. We don't never need to sell the opportunity or the business products and services to someone. Let them decide if the business is for them, or the products and services that we offer will be something beneficial to their household or business. So what you want to do is look for qualified people to join your business or become a customer. So sort of think of it as sorting apples or categories of people. Some people have legitimate reasons why they can't get started in the opportunity business. So it's always important to be cognizant of that you don't want to say someone is just making an excuse, because some people do have legitimate reasons why this particular time is not the right time for them at the moment. And then you need to understand that people are motivated by different reasons. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by their need to help others. Some people simply just want to have fun. Some people want to make money so they can put away for retirement, college funds, things of that nature. So understand that people are motivated by different reasons. And some people will surprise you. Some people would think, like, you're a doctor, you're successful, you probably make a good income. Why would you be interested in the network marketing industry? And so that's that some people will surprise you. And that reminds me of my first meeting in this industry 9 years ago. I invited everyone I knew, all my professional friends, and things of that sort. And the first person that joined my business was a single mother that only had a year or so of college. So some people will surprise you. None of my professional friends joined the business at that time. So just understand that some people will surprise you. And then also realize that some will join you, some won't. So what? What do? We go to the next one. All right. How do you become a sorter? Everyone you will meet will fall into one of these categories. They'll either be a red apple, a green apple, or a rotten apple. So as I said previously, most would consider me a red apple because of my education and my job title or profession as a dentist. But we're going to go over how to distinguish and categorize people by their attitude, their mindset, their desire for success. So your red apples, or sometimes you'll hear Dwayne and the other leaders say reds. So this is the same concept. I'm just using apples. So your red apples are the people when you present your opportunity or give them information about our products and services, they're ready, they're excited, they're positive people, and they're highly motivated. And you generally know these people in your circle of influence, your friends, your family, your co-workers. You know who the positive people are. You know who the people are when you present an issue or there's a conflict. You know the people who are going to have something positive to say. They're going to be uplifting. They're going to be encouraging. So we generally know who these people are. When you meet a stranger, it's important to build rapport so you can learn to distinguish if this person is a red apple or green apple or a rotten apple. And you'll often hear Dwayne talk about how he referred to this industry as relationship marketing. It's important to build a relation with people as you meet them and build a rapport so you can let people basically sort themselves out. Red apples are also bursting with potential, and many would consider they're a diamond in the rough. So I don't know if many of you are familiar with the bell curve. So a bell curve would mean that on one end you have a low percentage, and another end you have a low percentage, and you have the masses in the middle. So on one end, many people are going to be red apples. On the other end, some people will be rotten apples. The majority of people you meet are going to be green apples. So the red apples are diamonds in the rough, and they're also realistic. They're the people that when you present the information, they understand it, they get it, they see it. They're They're not going to say, oh, this is I'm going to make $100,000 in a week. They have realistic expectations, and they understand it's going to take sweat equity and time to build a successful business. You want to spend most of your time with red apples. And so I'll just briefly go on about red apples. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone with a high education, a job title like a dentist, a doctor, judge, engineer, a business owner, someone who doesn't have a certain level of education, or those job titles that some people regard as high status in society. Someone who works at a grocery store, someone who is a bartender, drives a bus, still can be reds. But just realize that positive people hang around other positive people. So just by the mere fact that they're reds in their own lifestyle, meaning they probably know other reds that may fit the title of, high amounts of disposable income, looking for opportunity. So just don't discount someone because they don't have, certain job titles. Just realize that reds normally hang around with reds regardless of title and position. Green apples. So just like some of you, like I'm a country girl, so I know that red apples were green before they were red. So red apples have to mature. They're not ready yet, and they're generally going to have a lot of questions. They're the information seekers. So it doesn't matter how well organized you are with the delivery of your information, with brochures, videos, sizzle calls, launch calls, conference calls. It doesn't matter any of that. They're going to want information outside of what you present to them. Just know that they're going to be skeptical, and they're going to need time to decide. So you need to guard your time when you realize that someone is a green apple, because they'll constantly bombard you with question after question after question. They're gonna Google, they're gonna go on YouTube, they're gonna go on Vimeo, Facebook, everywhere trying to gather information. And most of the time they can't out gather information from the major players in the industry that have seen that AGS is a reputable company to do business with. And they don't understand that, they don't care. They're still gonna do their own research. But guard your time with the questions they're asking, because as we know, we need to spend most of our time with red apples. But you don't want to discard the green apple simply because they're not ready yet or they have a lot of questions. Just continue, communication. How they're doing, keep them updated. Oh, we have a cruise coming up. We have a regional coming up. Our national is in August. We have a promo going on. So, keep the communication going. If you know of birthdays or kids going to college, every now and then just keep the communication going so that when they are ready, it hasn't been a lapse in time and you haven't spoken with them or kept the relationship developing, and then just out of the blue, you're trying to call or contact them to see if they're ready. So that's why it's important to continue communication and keep in contact. But you also need to realize that, as we said, some green apples will mature and become red apples, but some green apples can also become rotten apples. All right, so lastly, rotten apples. Okay, now that picture of that apple does not look appetizing at all. So you want to leave rotten apples alone. They're very negative and very skeptical. You know who the rotten apples are in your circle of influence. They're the ones that when you see their number pop up on your cell phone, you're like, oh my God, what do they want? You already know if there's an issue at work, who's going to be the one that has something negative to say, or who's going to have an outburst. Like, we generally know with the people who we have relationships with who the rotten apples are. And again, when you first are meeting someone or a stranger, that's why it's important to build rapport with them, a relationship with them, so you can determine if they are a red apple, a green apple, or a rotten apple. Rotten apples generally are not interested. So I don't care how much information you give them. I don't care how well organized you give them. I don't care if there's a promotion going on. If they can make a quick start bonus, they're generally not interested. they drain your energy. And you know, in the industry, sometimes you'll hear that we call them dream stealers. But it's important to realize too that sometimes the rotten apples are your family members, your friends, co-workers, boss, people that you have to have contact with. If it's someone that you know are just meeting and you deem real quick that they're a rotten apple, you can use your own judgment whether or not you want to continue a relationship with them. But generally, you know, rotten apples you want to leave alone. But if it's someone that you have to have contact with, you know, on a personal level, and you know that they're a rotten apple, keep your business relationship separate from your personal relationship. You know, there's no point to talk about business with a rotten apple. If it's someone that you have a personal relationship with, keep that going, but don't intertwine the business with the personal relationship. And so, as we know, you've heard the saying, one bad apple ruins the bunch, and that's true. So that's why it's important that, you know, you don't want to be inviting the people that you know are rotten apples to events and trainings and cruises and events that were happening, because their energy is going to rub off on the other people who may be red apples or green apples. So basically, you don't want to spend any of your time with the rotten apples, especially in your business. All right, in conclusion, remember that people can be sorted in the same way an apple picker would sort apples. The red apples are the ones that are ready to go and will be thoroughly enjoyed. They're the positive, motivated people, realistic. You enjoy being around them. The smaller green ones are not fully grown yet, and they still need time to ripen. They're the ones that are going to ask a lot of questions. They need information. They need time to mature, time to ripen. Just keep communication open and don't cut them off. Rotten apples are the ones that are falling off the tree to the ground below and are completely inedible. So those are the ones that don't have the same mindset as those of us that are trying to build a successful business. So you don't want to involve, you know, rotten apples in your business. All right, I have a bonus for you. Mainly because, you know, you'll often hear Dwayne call this industry relationship marketing. And many of us have been in the industry, you know, for many years. Myself, going on 10 years. And someone like Dwayne, probably twice as long as that. So often you'll see that some of us have been in more than one network marketing company. And, you know, this industry is a business, and just like any business or business owner, sometimes you have to make those types of decisions on what's best for you, your business, or your family. And sometimes it's on the business, the corporate structure itself. You know, businesses, no matter how long they've been in business, have challenges. And then sometimes, you know, as a person, you have to decide if that business is fit for you or if you're the fit for that business. So I don't want people to get, you know, weary when you hear some of the leaders say, you know, I was in one company before, two companies before, et cetera, because it's just the nature of business. Me being a dentist for 17 years, I've worked at more than one dental corporation. So I very rarely meet, you know, every now and then you'll hear people who have been at one job for 30, 40 years and now they're retiring. But I would say the average person probably changes jobs every 7 years. I think it's something about the number 7. So the bonus is golden apples. They're the individuals that are normally open-minded. They immediately see an opportunity. And they may even express interest without having seen a presentation or reviewed any information. They will follow you just because. And many of us in AGS, I would consider as golden apples because many of us started in the industry together 1 company ago, 2 companies ago. And just by the nature of the relationships we had developed with the people that we met and the leaders in the previous companies, when they said, we have a new opportunity. We're going here. This is what it's offering. This is why I'm making the choice. And I thought of you when I made the decision to move. It was a no-brainer. It was just because. So I hope you all enjoyed my training, and I'm appreciative that Dwayne asked me to train. And just remember, you can't change people. You can only offer people an opportunity to change themselves.
Thank you. Awesome training.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. So thank you for that awesome training. It was a phenomenal job I heard in Texas, and definitely see how you definitely are paving the way and sharing with everybody how to build a network marketing business, and understanding the different personalities and different traits of people, which is extremely important, because at the end of the day, this is what we're, our real product is people. But before I bring on Mr. Parker, I'm going to share some marketing materials that we are now presenting to the field. Sorry. So I'm going to show you some brochures and banners that we're looking at, and then I want to post this in all the mentorship groups. And then before we actually put it into the AGS marketing, we got different styles for some brochures. I want to get your opinion. I'm just going to share with everybody right now. This is one of our banners here. This is what we call the quote banner. AGS Travel with all the different quotes. This is our I call it the airplane banner. It has you travel your way to wealth. By the way, the Travel Your Way to Wealth website should be. We was trying to go live with that this weekend, but we ran into a glitch in the autoresponder, so I believe they're fixing that on Monday. This is one of the Crystal Wave banners. We actually have two versions of this. This is one version. This is a brochure. This is going to be our business opportunity brochure. Where you'll be able, it's a trifold. You'll be able to meet some person, share a comp plan, and share everything with them right from one brochure. This is a product brochure. All the products, it's also a trifold. This is a different style of the business opportunity brochure. And this is a different style of the product brochure, a different color scheme. This is a product brochure and the business brochure. Again, different color scheme. I like the darker color personally. So you get the darker color, which is the black, or you got this color here. This is the different version of the Crystal Wave banner. The first version, which I actually like this version better. And I think that's the last of it. So those are different brochures that all this is going to be available under agsmarketing.net, agsmarketing.net. Also business cards. We got some business cards on there that's got the front, and they got all the services on the back. Different styles, different colors that you can choose from. So I just wanted to share that information with everyone, because this is where we're heading. And just making sure you had your right marketing materials for your needs. So this next person I want to introduce, I want you guys to hear from. This gentleman, he's really, I watched him grow in this business. I've known Mr. Parker now for at least 8 years, and we've transitioned from a couple of our companies, previously, and like Dr. Thomas said, it's and I like that golden, the last one, the bonus that she used, where you actually where you develop these relationships and friendships, and people feel they can trust your leadership. That's why the mentoring program is very important. Because if and as people get to really see your skills as a leader and see how you step up to the plate and so on and so forth, and you start creating your own brand and your own bond. But at the end of the day, you want to brand yourself. You are every one of you are leaders, and you want to start branding you. So does it make a difference what company you're in? People are buying you way before they buy the opportunity. And I watched this gentleman come along and brand himself and really just totally become a true seasoned network marketer. You're gonna see him doing some big things. He's definitely gonna be a force to reckon with. Turn out to be a phenomenal trainer. He was our featured speaker in the regional in Dallas regional this past weekend, and I got nothing but rave reviews. So I want everybody to see the training he did as well. So without further ado, let me bring on to those of you who know him already and those who don't for the first time, Mr. C. Anthony Parker. Mr. Parker, are you available? Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me, Dwayne?
There you go. Hear you loud and clear. I'm turning the webinar over to you.
Okay, excellent. All right, so let's see. Let's make sure Malika is muted and also Mr. Eddings, and then I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. I hear some background noise. Not sure where it's coming from. Okay. So can you see my screen? Okay. All right.
Mr. Parker, I think we lost you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Okay.
Okay, all right. I apologize for that. It was a little technical difficulty, but we are back on track, and just making sure I'm coming in clear. Coming in clear?
Coming in loud and clear.
Excellent. Well, definitely want to give it back to you, Dwayne, and definitely want to give it back to Malika for that outstanding presentation and training that she just gave us. I was actually privy to actually hear it live and in color yesterday, and I was very impressed with her presentation and the content that she had in it as well. So yes, I'm still here in Dallas, Texas. Really excited about being here. Got a chance to actually today to go to Bishop Jake's church, which he's from my hometown, Charleston, West Virginia. And so it was great really meeting the team down here in Dallas. They're very enthusiastic, very eager to learn to the industry and how they can actually win an AGS. So this training that I'm going to be sharing with everyone tonight is actually what I gave them on yesterday. So if you wasn't able to get on the live streaming, great, because you're going to be able to hear it and see it today. And then also, if you were on the live streaming, you're going to definitely get a recap and maybe hear something that you may have missed on yesterday. So what I deem this training to be is how to overcome bad habits, because what I realized is being in this industry, I had bad habits before I got into the industry. Therefore, I brought the bad habits over into this industry. And once I recognized the bad habits, I was able to combat those bad habits. So I'm going to go ahead and begin, because I feel that we definitely want to get some good information today. So the first bad habit that I had was I did not become a student of the game. And what do I mean by that is because we are in this industry and we do not reinvent the wheel, let the wheel invent you. So whatever you know prior to coming into AGS travel or this industry of network marketing, uh, don't think that what you know is going to work over here, because you don't want to reinvent this wheel. You want to let the wheel reinvent you, because what will happen is we already have a proven system that actually works. So focus on your strengths and strengthening your weaknesses. So we all have weaknesses, but we also have strengths. That's why we say we play team, because once we have a team going, some people have more strengths than other, and then we can actually come together. But also you want to be able to strengthen your weaknesses. So if you see someone strong in a certain area, learn from them. Okay, I've done that with Dwayne. A lot of things that I've learned from him. Now, networking with those who have more strengths than you. Okay. Now, the second thing that I learned, that I was really struggling with and had a really bad habit of it, is I did not present the opportunity. So one thing I learned was to practice the opportunity, because they say, hey, when you stand up, guess what? Your paycheck does what? It goes up. Okay, so what we want you to do is we want you to overcome your fear. They say speaking is actually the #1 fear out of any fear in the world. Okay, number 7 of any fear, the fears in the world, is actually death. So you mean to tell me people fear speaking in front of people more than they fear death? Absolutely. So you have to overcome that fear, because once you stand up, your paycheck goes up. Okay, so the number 3 thing that I realized that I had a very bad habit of is I did not understand my limits versus my obstacles. Okay, so if you can see right here in red, it says no limits. Okay, so you say know your limits, but if you can see here, it also says no limits. So if you KNOW your limits, then you will know that you have no limits. Okay, so really take that in hand. So face your fears. Okay, face your fears. What is fears? False evidence appearing real. Talk back to your doubt. Reason why I put this on here, because a lot of times we have fears and we don't talk back to it. So if you say, well, I'm a little scared to call this person, well, talk back to that doubt. Hey, I am going to call this person. Okay, well, I fear standing up and doing a presentation. Well, talk back to that doubt. Hey, I'm going to do this presentation. I am going to stand up. So talk back to your doubts. Okay, don't let your doubts overcome you. Now, education breeds understanding. And one thing I learned in this industry, and that's why I put this here as well, is because one thing I've learned is confused people do absolutely nothing. Okay, they do absolutely nothing. But once I got educated on this industry, once I learned it produces the most millionaires out of any industry in the world, once I understood that, once I was educated on that, it made it more understanding for me to actually take 100% of my beliefs and of my energy to be able to build this business and to learn more about this industry so I can move through it very powerfully. So again, no limits, right? Now, confused people, again, do nothing. Okay, so right here we have dreamteamglobal.net. You want to utilize that, and I will talk about that here in a little later. But number 4 was I was not dialing for dollars. Okay, I was not dialing for dollars. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to create a list, the roadmap to success. In any business that you get into, say for instance, if you're a business owner, you have what's called working capital. I've owned several dealerships in my lifetime. And what I've learned is I had to have working capital to be able to buy inventory. Well, in this industry, I love it because I wish I would have known about this early on in life, because you don't have to have monetarily working capital. That means having money. All you need to have is a list. You create that list, and it's the roadmap to your success. Okay. Start with writing down all numbers from your phone. A lot of times people say, hey, I don't know a lot of people, such and such, but hey, tell them to write it down out of their phone. Okay. Utilize your entire contact list. We all have contact lists, friends, families, associates, or such. Actually use your list, okay? Because one thing I've seen people do is they'll write a list, but then they'll never call that list. They're not dialing for dollars. So that's a habit that we create that we need to break that habit, okay? Add to the list. So don't make your minimums your maximums. A lot of times we see people who actually they build a list of 100 people, or you tell them to build 100 and they only build 25, but then they never add to the list. If you've ever ran by, for instance, a billboard and you thought about maybe like a Dr. Maleka, hey, I just seen a dentist. Oh, I know this dentist. Let me write them down on my list, and you'll keep on adding to the list. You might see a nurse. You might, oh yeah, I know nurse such and such. I went to school with her. Add her to the list. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to have their name and their number. As long as you can remember their name, just write their name on the list, and then you can go through Facebook, social media, and find out how you can contact them from there. But definitely write them on your list. I recommend like a notebook that you can write it down on, and I'm gonna share something else with you here in a second where you can actually utilize to build a master list, okay? Schedule days and times. Keep good notes about each contact, the date, the time, comments, hot points, etc. So why did I put that here? Because it's something that I practice, and I was actually doing today. I was dialing for dollars before I got on this call. And what I do is when I come in contact with the person, just for instance, I pick 2 new people while I picked one guy while I was on the plane. He was sitting beside me, so I got his name, got his number, where he was from, the date that I picked him. It only takes me about 60 additional seconds to add in, you know, where he's from and how I met him. That way, when I'm trying to think of who he is later on down the line, and I may forget his name, I'll just type in there from Cincinnati, Ohio, or met on the plane. And everybody who I've met on the plane, it'll pop up in my phone because I put that in my search bar. I put that in the search bar and it'll pop it up. Why? Because I took out that extra 60 seconds to put the date, the time, any comments that I had, any hot points, like if they have children or if they just want to travel more, whatever that hot point might be, okay? So number five is I did not have a master list, okay? I did not have a list, a master list. Okay, so what I would do is I would collect business cards. I would write down on little pieces of paper that eventually, you know, if I go in my pocket, I'll pull some money out of my pocket and it'll fall on the ground and I'll never find that number again. I did not have a master list. And one thing I learned is by having a master list, it makes you more professional. I only collected business cards and papers and emails. I utilize professional tools to be organized. But one thing I didn't do that, but one thing we want to do is actually utilize, you know, professional tools. And the memory jogger is a very professional tool. If you can look on the screen right now, you'll see it's called www.networkmarketingpro.com, and it's a memory jogger. Now, what it's going to help you do, and it's free, it's absolutely free. Download it and then take it and then print it out. Go to Kinko's, and what it actually help you do, and it's by Eric Worre. Okay, Eric Worre. He's a guru in this industry of network marketing. So anything that he produces, I'm pretty sure even Dwayne will contest to this as well, because I'm pretty sure he's a student of Eric Worre as well through his, you know, throughout the time of him being in network marketing. What he allows you to do is be able to have a master list, and he has a memory jogger in there that is phenomenal. People say, well, I don't know someone, or I don't know many people. They can go through there and they can build a list, I guarantee, of at least 300 to 400 people, if not definitely 100 people. Why? Because it's a memory jogger and it gives you some tools there. Let's go with 6A, because we're going to have a part B. But 6A, I did not invite everyone. Okay, I did not invite everyone. Don't prejudge future partners or clients. Why do I say that? Because we have a tendency of prejudging people. What do we do? And I always, you know, use this as an example. If you all were to look at me, right, and you could not tell what my favorite color was, or you couldn't tell what my favorite food was, or what my favorite car was. Okay, so if you can't tell any of those things, you can't look at a person and say they won't do this business. So don't prejudge them. Malika made a great point. You know, Dr. Malika made a great point. You know, she's a red. She's a doctor. You know, and most people will say, well, oh, Dr. Malika would not want to do this business because she's too busy. Well, Dr. Malika is on fire with this business. So you do not want to prejudge anyone because they may be the one who do the business, okay? Same thing with your clients. Those who I thought wouldn't, and then those are the people that I thought wouldn't, they actually did. And then those, the worst no is the no you tell yourself. So, you know, if you tell yourself no, you're already canceling them out. They may be the one who brings hundreds to thousands of people in your organization, that one person, because they get on fire. Okay, so next thing I have right here is invite with your voice. Okay, why do you want to invite with your voice? You see the guy, he's spinning around. Because why? Because don't send a text to invite. You know, that's very passive. When people see a text, they're not sure if you sent the right text to them. They're, you know, they can kind of look at it and just breeze on by it without even taking it seriously. But let them feel your excitement, okay? Okay, when you call someone and you're speaking to them and you're excited about the opportunity, and you're telling them things that is going on within the company, they feel your excitement. People react off of emotions versus logic. You know, have you ever sent the text out and someone took it totally wrong? They just really didn't read the text as you wanted them to actually perceive the text. So what happens is when you texting people, they're not going to perceive it as well as if you invite it with your voice. Okay. Now you may want to drip with the text or follow up with the text, but your initial contact should not be with a text. It should be with your voice. 6B. Okay, I did not, these are bad habits that I had. I did not invite everyone. So we're still talking about that. Get with an expert. An expert can definitely help you. You see me and LaRod Smalls right here. Expert confirmations increase the chances of guests arriving by 30%. So why do I say that? Because if you invite yourself, invite someone out yourself, it's a 30% chance that they'll show up to a live event or to a webinar. If you invite them and then get an expert to confirm them, then that's an additional 30%, which makes it 60% chance that they're going to actually come to the event and get on the webinar. Then if you invite them an expert confirmation with an expert, and then you actually send them a reminder text, that's when you can use a text, you know, then that's a 60% chance. Or you might want to give them a call. You can actually give them a reminder call or a reminder text, either way, and that's another 30% chance, which makes it 90% chance that they're actually going to get on the webinar or they're going to actually get on, come to the live event, okay? So present the opportunity, set goals. Well, maybe I want to make 1 phone call a day or 3 phone calls a day, or if you really looking to build this business very rapidly, 15 to 20 calls per day. Okay, practice the Elite 8 and the Fantastic 5 questions. So these are some things that I've been teaching my team that is really, you know, really a great way to actually, you know, pique a person's interest, because what you don't want to do is and excuse my French, if you will, but you don't want to vomit all over them. Sometimes people put the water hose on people. They give them everything about AGS and they're looking at you like, well, if I got to know all of that, I don't want to do the business. So learn how, why do I call it the Lead 8? That's learning how to describe this business in 8 words or less. So 8 words or less would be, hey, I show people how to retire early. Or I show people, or I help people, you know, I help people to travel more for less, okay? So those are, that's 8 words or less you're describing the business. And then the Fantastic 5 is leading to them watching a video or them going to an event or them getting on a webinar. So what are the 5 questions? Number 1 is, do you like to travel? That's number 1. Number 2 is, would you like to get paid for traveling? Most people are like, well, yeah, who wouldn't? Well, great. Okay, so if they say yes, well, you got 2 minutes or so to watch a video. Well, we got a 2-minute peak video that they can actually watch, okay? So you want to send them that video, but before you do that, you want to ask them, if I send you the video, will you take a look at it? That's number 4. If I send it to you, will you take a look at it? Number 5 is going to be, how quickly can you get to your smartphone or your computer? How quickly can you get to your smartphone or your computer? So I'm going to say number 1 again. Number 1, do you like to travel? Number 2, would you like to get paid for traveling? Number 3, you have 2 minutes or so to watch the video. Number 4, if I send you the video, will you take a look at it? Number 5, how quickly can you get to your smartphone or your computer? Why am I saying that? Because I want to know it's professional. If they hear anything about a computer, they're going to get to it. But I also want to let them know if they only have a smartphone, guess what? You can watch the video on a smartphone. My number 7 habit, okay? My number 7 bad habit. I was not organized. How many of us on this line is not organized? You cannot have an organization without having organization, okay? Have a strategy. Formulate productive habits. Schedule your time, okay? Just be consistent about being consistent. So sometimes we get excited, we get really jacked out of our minds about the business. We come back from a national event or something like that. We just got off a great training call with one of the leaders, and we're saying, I'm gonna get organized, I'm gonna do this, but then we fall off in a couple of days or a week. Just be consistent about being consistent, okay? Number 8, common destructive thoughts, okay? These are destructive thoughts that I actually had in my head. I don't have enough time. I don't know where to begin. I don't know enough people. They won't join. These are things that were running through my mind, through my head. You know, I'll do it tomorrow or next Sunday. Anybody ever heard of Someday Island? A lot of people are playing that Someday Island. That's where they're traveling to for vacation every single day. Someday Island. They're putting things off every single day. I will use my phone as my list. I don't recommend that. I recommend you writing your list down. Take the numbers out of your phone and put them onto like a memory jogger or some type of a list that's written down. What if your phone breaks, or what if you lose it? Then you have all of your contacts lost. But if you write them down, now you have a local place that you can actually get back to those numbers. It's a burden to ask people. Have you ever felt like you're burdening or bothering people when you're calling them? You're really not, but that's a negative habit that we tend to tell ourselves, okay? So as a recap, as I conclude, okay, the rundown. Number 1, I did not become a student of the game. This is a bad habit that I had. I did not present the opportunity. Number 3, I did not understand my limits versus obstacles. Number 4, I was not dialing for dollars. Number 5, I did not have a master list. Number 6, I did not invite everyone. Number 7, I was not organized. Number 8, common destructive thoughts. So I was negatively giving myself negative self-thoughts, which was actually a crutch or burdening me from actually reaching success. But what I want to share with you is this right now. It's not too late. It's not too late. If you're just beginning in this business, guess what? It's not too late. You just got in at the right time. If you've been in this industry for a while, guess what? It's not too late. You can push that restart button. You see the button on the right-hand side? You can just hit that restart button. And I love this as I conclude. You can always start again. You can always change your mind. You are in control of your mind. Hit that restart button anytime. So with that being said, that is my time. I definitely appreciate everyone. Hopefully something was said tonight that actually catapults you to the next level in your business, to where we'll get rid of those bad habits and we will start rising to the top of this company of AGS Travel. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn it back over to our Vice President, Dwayne Eddings. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Excellent training, Mr. Parker. Tell you what, one of some very, very great points and issue points kind of took me back to the beginning. And, we can never stop learning. No matter how big we get in this industry, We can never stop learning. So, you know, and your list is, you know, your net. I was told early on, your net worth is your network. You know, and that's very true in this industry and in this business. You know, building that list is so crucial. That's why when we do the mentoring class, I have you guys filling out the sheets. I don't just do that for my health, and I don't just have you doing it for your health, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You know, it's funny, as I was preparing for the mentoring class and preparing some of the forms and going back in some of my old files, I was actually viewing some of my old mentoring program when I was under Lisa Cloud's mentoring class, and I was submitting my sheets, my exposure sheets to her, and looking at the list of people that I've met back in 2008 and 2009 and in 2010. And a lot of those people have came through my system, have came through the opportunity. Some of them never joined. Some of them are great friends later on that actually joined here in AGS. I got some that joined AGS that were prospects in 2008. So, you know, it created a memory jogger for me. And, you know, we always think that we run out of people. There's so many people out here in this world, we haven't even touched the surface. So your training was so on point. The biggest problem that we have is ourselves. If we can get out of our own way, we will be okay. So I want to give it again back to you and Dr. Malaika Thomas for a job well done, sharing this, sharing the training, and really coming across thorough, coming across clearly, and I know that the people listening really got opportunity to get some true value out of what was said tonight. So, and in closing, I just want to say again, our agsmarketing.net, we're finalizing a couple things going on. We got a lot of things happening behind the scenes, guys, and I'm going to post those brochures in the groups. And I just want you guys to choose which one you like best. My particular one, I like the darker ones. I think it was more modern to me. But I want you guys to choose. Let me know what your thoughts are in regards to the brochure. This webinar was recorded, so I'll post the recording also on the group meets. And tomorrow evening, we'll be having our mentoring program class at 9 p.m. We just going to do an update on a 24-hour webinar. We recorded it. The videos have been inputted into it. We was going over the top 10 questions. I want to thank those of you that submitted to me the top 10 questions. A lot of them was used. I know Ms. Shirley Williams submitted some great ideas, and a couple other you submitted some great ideas, great questions that was frequently asked, and I think that's going to be a great tool for us. So like I said, we're just fine tuning because it is technology and making sure the autoresponders is working properly, and we're still just trying to figure out still how we can seamlessly send a voucher right after they watch it. We haven't quite figured that part out yet. So as of now, after they watch it, it will send all of you that's in the mentoring program. You'll have your own personalized link. Anybody else who's not when they register for the 24-hour webinar, is going to capture their information. You will see it, and so will I. There's going to be a question on there, who invited them to it. And again, if you have your own personalized link, you'll get notified in real time. The moment they registered, the moment they watched it, you'll be registered via text and via email. And at the end of the presentation, it will direct them to you to get their voucher, to obtain their voucher. And then obviously we would send them out. So I want to thank you guys again, everybody for listening in, everybody for joining on. As we're coming to the top of the hour, it's a phenomenal training tonight. God bless each and every one of you. Everybody have a great week. I'm still out here in Florida, traveling back tomorrow. Those of you that's traveling, I see Anthony, I know you're traveling in from Dallas. Safe travel, mercies to you and your family. And I look forward to seeing you guys during the course of the week and talking to you guys tomorrow night. This webinar is officially over. Everybody be blessed. Good night.
going on.